definitely turn your volumes up on this part. Hear that? Boom. That is the Goliath grouper showing his dominance and telling me to back off, and boom, big old lionfish. This little hole here is known as the lionfish swim through. That's how it's marked on our maps on the boat. And we come here because every time we come here, there's tons of lionfish, because this is a hot spot for lots of minnows to be trying to avoid predators. But they don't realize the lionfish is such a predator, and they hide out here. And so did this Goliath. He's a little tiny guy, very small Goliath grouper. But right next to this Goliath are a whole bunch of lionfish. I cleaned him out real quick. This spot is kind of a hard spot to find because it's amongst a lot of other rubble and a lot of other reef. So it's definitely not the easiest chunk of reef to find. Boom. We cleared him out, and now we move on to the next spot. So we are out here as Lionfish Extermination Corporation, a nonprofit that hunts lionfish. And here is another Goliath. See him running around? This is the old outfall pipe that used to pump human waste. Cleaned human waste back in the day, and they've actually shut this one down. There's still a couple running in the state, but look at this pipe, and there's a lionfish. And look inside the pipe real quick. That's a Goliath in the pipe. He actually made a turnaround in the pipe, which is kind of crazy. He must be pretty small, because that pipe it's big, but it's not that darn big. I come back to see if he's still in there, but see, this is also a hot spot for lionfish because there's lots of minnows and there's places to hide. Sometimes the lionfish will go down in that pipe, and I can't get them. So I was definitely trying to make sure I could snag them before that happened. This is cool. This is a beautiful hogfish. Do a little flyby. But this poor little hogfish was having some trouble. This is a very little lesser amberjack, and this thing will not leave him alone. Look at this. It's like glued to his side, and he was just freaking out. This poor, I think it might be a female, I'm not sure, hogfish is trying to lose this guy. You can't tell the fish is on there, but then you can see it right there. And he gets loose and comes back. It was the wildest thing seeing this guy. He's like, get up. He's just trying to lose this little bastard. But I think he got rid of him. Then I decided to stop filming. It was pretty funny though. I'm out here pretty deep, over 100 feet. And that's a pretty typical dive. Pretty much every dive, boom. Every dive we go to around 100 feet. That's where we usually find more lionfish. A lot of the other divers have killed them in the shallow areas because they're invasive, and anybody who sees them who has the right equipment should remove them. It's actually technically illegal to not remove a lionfish. If you were to catch a lionfish on your pole, which is extremely rare because they hunt very slowly, but if you were to catch one on your pole and then release it, that's technically not legal. See how I avoided hitting that barrel sponge? But I also alerted this lionfish, and look at this guy. He was very keen. Look at this. Very smart. He was wise. Look at this. He just keeps going back and forth. I'm like, oh, nope. Okay, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to try him over here. Oh. And finally, he fled to another area, and I was able to grab him. Now, we take these lionfish, and we go to restaurants, and we will sell them. Look at this guy real quick. See the color change? That was pretty cool. It was a very dark mutton snapper with kind of a hiding pattern, and then all of a sudden it turned into a white sand fleeing pattern on the skin. So they have chromatophores. So do lionfish. Most fish in the ocean can change their color at will, which is kind of cool. Not so much these guys. That yellow one there, it's called a rock beauty, and they don't really change their color so much. But most fish that are more predators can change their colors. And some non-predators as well. So put this one in the old bucket. We just keep finding them. We don't find a whole lot at one time, but in this dive we actually did find 8 or 9 in one spot, which is pretty cool. That guy got a little wise. See that? 2 shots. Let's try it again. One more. Oh, got him. See how I did that little wiggle? Oh, finally I get him. Had to go inside of a hole that he got inside of. I give that little wiggle with my camera, which tends to draw their attention to my hand with a camera and away from the one with the spear. Now I had my wrong lens on. I had the lens that is actually a close-up lens. And look at this little guy. These guys were probably thinking about doing some mating or maybe just having a good conversation. I was wondering what they were talking about. A couple of big old hermit crabs. Look at the sea turtles. We saw so many sea turtles. It was ridiculous. 1, 2, 3. They're all loggerheads. They're all probably females, tired from being mated with. Just taking a rest here on the beach. You get a little closer on the rocks, I should say, on the reef. A little closer look at her. She's not really bothered because she's so tired. She's just going to sleep. Those are some pork fish over there. People that watch my videos a lot probably can start noticing the names of these fish. I usually call them out a little bit. Pork fish are very beautiful. They're just kind of like a pretty common fish down there. You see pork fish. I like to say, whenever you see pork fish, sometimes you'll see lionfish because they usually kind of lead you. Look at this guy. That's called a soap fish. And the soap fish got its name because it has a nasty, bitter kind of slime that comes off it when you catch it. Fishermen name most of these fish in some way or another. Look at him go. And they're very similar to, they're in the grouper family, I believe. But they have the panther grouper. They're very similar looking to a panther grouper that some people have in their fish tanks. And look here. This is the spot with all these lionfish. I put this chunk of video in my hoodie giveaway video. And most people noticed that there were 8 lionfish. I go to shoot twice at one fish, and that's why people thought that there might be 9. But if you keep a good eye, you can see that there's 8 lionfish in here. There's another one. It's pretty rare to find a spot with this many lionfish in one area, but it was pretty cool to find. I cleaned up shop. And no, they must have just had their bellies full, just hanging out, resting, waiting for the next feeding. And I took full advantage. Just nailed them. This little rock beauty would not get out of the way, so I said, I'll just be real careful. Shoot around. They say, people say all the time, like, why don't the lionfish run? Why don't they flee? And the truth of the matter is they're so confident that their spines will protect them from anything, pretty much, that even a person coming up that they've never seen before, they don't see a threat. They just put up their spines like they do with everything else. And if you try to go after them, then they'll just scurry away into a hole. But using a spear is a little bit like cheating. You know, we cheat a lot as humans. You know, we wouldn't be eating half the things that we eat if it wasn't for tools. So we're definitely cheating a lot. There's another one. Bam! Now, see how I spooked that last one? That one is now going to be harder to shoot. That's the one that people thought was the 9th, when actually it was the 8th. Because it kept getting away. I'd go nice and easy. Boom! Oh! Missed it again. Oh, missed it again. This is how many times I actually missed it. I think I edited the video to where I only missed it once. But I missed it 3 or 4 times. So they can evade the spear pretty well if they find out what's going on. So you typically don't want them to know that. But look at this. Beautiful little eel down there. Give him a look. Then over here, another eel. Now these are the green moray eels. And they are actually, I guess they say that the slime on them is green, and that's why they're green, but they're actually not green. Very confusing. But they are pretty darn gorgeous. They're like little dragons. Sometimes I'll give a lionfish to one of them. So it looks like we are about out of time here. I've got a good amount of gas, but I'm still about 5 minutes to deco. And deco means basically you're pretty saturated with nitrogen and you got to get the heck out of there. Woohoo! Cute little trunk fish. So our dives usually last an hour or less. Sometimes if I'm in shallower waters, it's my boat, so we can kind of make up our own rules and stay a little bit longer than an hour. But I've got 3 dives to do, so I don't want to make it last too darn long. Look at this little juvenile. It was so cute. Little juvenile angelfish. And one last beautiful loggerhead. He says, I don't know about you, I'm out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We're about ready to call it a day. We're into deco about 5 minutes here, 4 or 5 minutes. And that means we need to go up with our catch. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the follows and likes and comments. And we'll talk to you soon, guys. Woohoo! Lionfish Extermination Corporation signing out.